Hey everyone, Evan Jones with you here on the RPAC Rundown podcast. This week on the pod, we will preview the D7 District Invite, which will be coming up on Wednesday. That will be our featured track event this week. Also, we have Athletes of the Week brought to you by First Central Bank at the end of the show. As always, check us out on social media and on rpacrundown.com. Just reminding you, RPAC Rundown Overtime is live. Some great content there. Be sure to subscribe. $3 per month plus tax or $30 per year plus tax to get that exclusive content. Of course, the RPAC Rundown podcast is brought to you by a bunch of great sponsors like Arapahoe Rehab and Fitness, Cambridge Supermarket, Webb's Oilfield Service, Cambridge Rehab and Fitness, Onyx Native, and C+. We'll take a break. Be right back. Welcome back to the RPAC Rundown podcast. Now joining us on the pod is my wife, Kenzie, which means we're talking track and field, running, something, or we're doing a fun draft, but this week it's about track and field is what we're doing. Coming up on Wednesday, May 14th, it's district track for Class D. I believe our RPAC schools that are in Class C, theirs is the next day on the 15th.
Yeah, I think they're all at Kearney Catholic on the 15th. It's Alma, Highline, and Southern Valley. Yep.
So specifically, we're going to be covering the D7 District Invite Bertrand. 10 RPAC teams will be there. Those teams include, let's see here, Arapahoe, Bertrand, Cambridge, Dundee County, Stratton, Hitchcock County, Maywood Hayes Center, Medicine Valley, Southwest, Wallace, and Juanita Palisade. Be watching for the recap blog and then also our weekly track blog for qualifiers. So we'll have that story that night, as we do our featured events. That's the story we write, but we are going to keep you up to date on what's going on with the 6 other schools that have track and who's going to be making state and stuff. So just be on the lookout for that too. So we're going to preview the D7 District Invite. Not all of it. We'd be here for hours if we did all of it. So some of this is speculation. At the time of recording, it is Friday the 9th, right? It's Friday,
yes, Friday's 9th. Yep.
At noon, give or take, is the time, Central Time. So we're going to preview the track, all the entries. We haven't seen entries, so some of this is speculation. So things could, it just depends what teams want to do to get kids to state sometimes.
Because there's kids put out some great marks yesterday at the Dale Harson, and there's a handful of teams. I know Dundee County's hosting an invite today, and there's a couple going to the Elm Creek invite. So we can expect some great marks. There's fantastic weather. So a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about too, maybe the marks aren't completely accurate. They've PR'd or something, but this is just going to be a really good idea and our speculations and thoughts on what we think may or may not happen. I don't know.
And speaking of times, we put out an RPAC Rundown Overtime every week, top 10s in all the track and field events. So if you're not subscribed, please do. $3 a month plus tax or $30 per year annually plus tax. And then you can see those top 10 results every week. So let's get into it though. So last year, D7 District, that was insane. It was in McCook.
It was so crazy. Fun.
And yeah, so much fun. 100-meter dash. All the runners qualified. Never seen anything like that before. We saw Diane Stam. She posted that on Facebook. It was a memory for her that, all those girls had qualified. I remember Coach Spargo texting me that night, like, dude, look at this. And it was insane. But let's talk about this year. Last year was so much fun. We could talk about that for a long time too. This year, let's start with the girls first, the relays. So, they take the top team for those.
Yes.
But in the girls 4x400 meter relay. And actually, before we talk about this, Loomis is also there. They're in the FKC. There's 11 schools and they're very good too.
Loomis is loaded too. So that's the thing is the RPAC, we've been throwing punches at each other all season. Loomis has been at a handful of the meets, but Loomis is darn good too. They're loaded in the sprints and the field events are solid. So it's going to be fun. Where we lose maybe a handful from Southern Valley or Alma, Loomis is going to fill that void.
Yeah.
So it's you can't just be like, oh, it's going to be great because.
So they're going to be there too. It's going to be tough. Didn't want to leave them out. I know they're not part of the conference, but they're the 11th team that's there. Yeah. But let's start with the girls relay. So they take the top team for those, but in the girls 4x400 meter relay, 4x800 meter relay, and even the 4x100 meter relay, there could be a lot of teams that make it. And let's 4x8 first. Maywood Hayes Center popped off that great time at conference. Yeah. And Arapahoe has a very solid 4x8 also.
Well, and I don't know what the time was for sure, but at Best of the Midwest on Tuesday, they bettered their time. Maywood Hayes Center did. So they're running a 950, 953, something right around there. And that was self-paced at conference. It was really impressive.
We're ahead by a lot.
And that doesn't take away from what Arapahoe did, or whoever got second. I think it was Arapahoe. They ran a solid race and they PR'd too. So it's just going to be fun because it's going to be fast. The kids are going to push each other. But I would be shocked if we don't see at least one or two additional qualifiers come from the D7.
It depends what Wallace puts together too.
Yeah,
you know, Kaylee Sauser's getting healthy, and depending on what they put together for a 4x800 meter relay, because if I remember right, last year they had a fast enough time to get to state also.
Yep.
So then 4x4, kind of those same teams.
Yeah.
You know, Maywood Hayes Center and Arapahoe. DCS has a great 4x400 meter relay team. I believe they have the fastest in the conference. Who ran that was both Spargo girls, Emily Shack and then Emma Balday. Was that who?
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
And just a great collection of talent there too. That relay could be really interesting also for the 4x4.
Yeah. And Cambridge has really strung together a couple solid 4x4s in the last week or two in the last meet. So they're just getting faster. And so it'll be fun to see them push and try to get one of the additional qualifying spots. But I think we could see 3 to 4 of them from the D7.
Now the 4x100 meter relay, you've got Dundee County Stratton.
Yeah.
Again, Arapahoe puts together a nice one too. Southwest. Yeah. I mean, there's teams that
Loomis's 4x4 is fast. And so it's going to be a very, very fast race. Handoffs are going to have to be clean. That's just what it's going to come down. It's going to come down to handoffs in the start because all 4 girls on that relay are going to be fast. It's going to come down to the technicalities of the race and how efficiently they can get the baton around the lap.
So let's talk sprints now. 100 meter dash, 200 meter dash, 400 meter dash. Going to be a lot of fun too. Let's talk 400 meter dash first. Addie Hunt, like we said, going to be in Class C, different district, but it's still loaded. You've got Clara Spargo and Desi Farner and others. That's going to be a really fun race too.
Yeah. And it will be fun. Those two right now lead our top 10 list. But
within this district.
Yes. Yes. But Ava Messersmith, Regan Stengel, and Blakely Farr ran phenomenal quarters at the best of the Midwest. They went, I think it was 1, 2, 3, but they were all within like tenths of a second of each other. So they're stringing stuff together. So if they run that too, it's going to be a loaded race. It's going to be a ton of fun. And I wouldn't be surprised again. I'm going to sound like a broken record. If we see a couple, 2, 3, maybe even 4 of the additional qualifiers coming from the D7.
Yep. It's going to be super interesting. But yeah, and those other sprints are going to be a lot of fun too, with Julie Farr running in the 100 and 200 and Clara potentially running in those. Like we said, we haven't seen any of the entries. Let's talk hurdles. You got Abby Spargo from Dundee County Stratton and Anastasia Gallegos from Southwest.
He is running really well right now.
He's had an awesome year, breaking the school record multiple times, I believe.
Yeah, in the 300s.
Yeah, she's been awesome this season too.
Yeah, she battled injury last year, and it was too bad because it just finally, I think, got the better of her at the end of the year last year. But she's come back really strong this year, and her hurdles look great. I think she's keeps knocking off time on those 300 hurdles as much as she does not like that race. And she'll tell you as soon as
she crosses the finish line.
She's running really, really well. And so she's getting quicker. And I mean, so is Abby, but it'll be fun to see those two push each other.
Yeah. Now let's talk distance runs, 1 and 2 mile. Shelby Shaney, Ashley Robertson. So Shelby from Bertrand, Ashley from Wallace. Great battle at RPAC. I expect to see that again on Wednesday, if that's what they have those.
It'll be interesting to see their tactics though, because there's kind of a little bit of a gap. You've kind of got those two, and then it's going to be fighting for additional qualifiers. So it'll be interesting to see how those girls want to run the race, if they're just going to go out and qualify, or if they want to save themselves for later and then like build off a state. So it's going to be a lot of strategy, because I don't probably see them both going out there trying to get a PR and running 1150s. But maybe they will, because it's just, they feel good. It's a great day. I don't know. But you could see a lot of pacing, maybe to try to pull others along the way too. Because Bailey Kipp's having a great year. She kind of hit a slump in the middle of the season, but yesterday she went back and I think she hit a PR in her 3200. So just fighting for every second is going to be crucial for those additional qualifiers. And so it'll be interesting to see how the top runners run that race, and then see if they try to help pull others along to get them into state.
Now, 800 meter run. we talked about Shelby Shaney once. She could potentially be in that. And then you have from Maywood Hayes Center, they have a bunch of great runners in the 800 also.
You've got Shelby Shaney, you've got Addison Richards of Maywood Hayes Center, Kaylee Softly of Maywood Hayes Center, but you also got Rachel Harris of Cambridge.
She's been running so well lately.
Running so well. She ran a really, really smart 800 at Best of the Midwest on Tuesday, is what Coach Kent had talked about. And so it'll be really fun. It's going to be a fast race. It's going to be a sub 230 for sure. Addison Richards has run a 223. So, I mean, you're looking at low 220s if she can pull some people along with her. So again, you're probably going to see a handful of additional qualifiers come from the D7 district.
Yeah. And that's what we expect for sure. And then looking at the field events a little bit more, Kennedy Bailey, she looks to be the favorite in the throws. Could potentially get a couple more RPAC athletes within the throws, but Kennedy from Dundee County Stratton has done a great job all season long, continues to break records, just impressive to watch. Pole vault, Shelby Shaney from Bertrand, and then Rylan Custard of Southwest. You know, Rylan, a freshman, has just progressively gotten better throughout the season.
Yeah, she finally cleared 10 feet at Best in the Midwest on Tuesday. And so I think that was a relief for her. But then Alyssa Coe PR'd at the Dale Harson yesterday, I believe. And so they're hitting stride, and Shelby hit a PR. She vaulted 10.7 at Dale Harson on Thursday. And so they're all just figuring it out, and Bertrand's got a great vault setup. So you can expect some PRs and great vaulting there. So it'll be fun to see how that one all shakes out. Again, it's going to come down to misses. You're going to have to be clean as long as you possibly can, especially for those wanting to hit that automatic qualifying height of 9 feet. So it'll be interesting to see how many extra qualifiers we can get from that.
Yeah. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll look at the boys' side of things for the D7 district track invite. Welcome back to the RPAC Rundown podcast. Now for the boys' side of things for the D7 district invite. That is in Bertrand. 10 a.m. start time, Central
11.
Time? 11 a.m.
Yep.
11 a.m. Central Time is what we are told for the start time on that. Bertrand knows how to run a great track meet. Looking forward to being there.
I'm a little biased, but
yeah, a little biased.
If you can pick up on the hint, I graduated from Bertrand.
But the boys' side going to be just as exciting as the girls' side.
Yes.
Let's talk field events first. Brock Bailey of Dundee County Stratton. And there's others in the throws that could make an impact, but Brock has been so tough. Who else maybe within the conference has a chance to maybe get to state? Carlos Diaz, too, from Dundee County Stratton. But who else maybe has a chance to maybe find themselves heading to Omaha potentially?
Yeah, Adam Kisker has been able to, he's from Hitchcock County. He's been able to throw the discus really well this year.
Yeah, he's not too far. I mean, Brock's so much further than a lot of the others, but he's right there with Carlos and throwing well. Yeah.
Yep. And then Lane Bybee has been really getting his discus figured out. It's been really fun to watch him grow. Just seeing his marks come through. It's like, oh, wow, Lane really PR'd. And
he's one of those athletes that from Dundee County Stratton, Lane, he does discus and triple jump, right?
Yes,
it's just a multifaceted athlete. It's pretty awesome to see.
It is. Both very technical events, and he's doing them well. So, but yeah, in the discus, then you could look for Rodrigo Estrada to maybe be able to sneak in there on an additional qualifier. I was talking to Coach Rink, and I think it was at the Arapahoe invite. He hasn't thrown discus very much. They kind of just threw him out there, and he was able to throw a really far mark. And so they're like, okay, so he's just learning it all.
Brad Rankin from Bertrand always finds a way to get a lot out of the kids. You know, that's Estrada's another one. But yeah, no, that's great. Anyone in, so that was discus specifically, or was that shot?
That was discus and shot.
So both there. Yep. So now let's talk also for field events, jumpers and the long and triple jump. You know, Thunder Nelson from Bertrand is one that comes to mind who has leaped well. What are some of his marks look like this season?
For Thunder in the triple jump, he's jumped 41 3.5, and then in long jump 21 6.25,
which is third in the conference behind Noah Zoltanko from Dundee County Stratton,
and then Xavier Mitchell from Mitchell, who, by the way, jumped 23 feet yesterday at the Dale Harson, which was very impressive. But yeah, so Noah Zoltanko looks really well too. He was able to put together some good jumps recently as well.
Anyone else in those jumps that might be, from Arapahoe, Alex Diaz, he's done a nice job in the triple jump. Coach Kronhoffman has talked talked a lot about that.
Yeah. Cooper Langford from Bertrand has jumped really well. But also Sawyer Dibburn, I think it was at Best of the Midwest on Tuesday. He set a new co-op record. I'm not sure what his mark was. I know it was 20 feet something, but he's catching stride too. So the jumps are going to be very tough.
He's had a sneaky good season from the Woodhay Center.
He's really coming on as of late. He's peaking at the right time, which is what you want for the kids.
Yeah, no, that's great. High jump. Ethan Latta, the favorite. It's very clear from Dundee County Stratton. He's the favorite, but there's a number of athletes who are at that 6'2" high jump that'll be lobbying for that second spot, and also, heights in general.
Yes. I should have looked what the automatic height is for high jump.
That's okay.
But I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but I would like to think that a number of them are going to be able to hit that. So we've got Mason Robley of Medicine Valley, who's jumped 6'2", Aiden Acton of Juanita Palisade, who's jumped 6'2". But I know there was a couple, Chase Bossler of Bertrand yesterday, I think finally hit 6 feet. But he was jumping 5'10". So we've got a lot from that 5'10", but specifically 6 to 6'2", that are going to sneak away with automatic jumps or potentially qualifying spot.
So we did look up that automatic qualifying height for high jump, and what is that, Ken?
It is 6 feet for boys in Class D.
So there's a number that could make it, from this district, which would be exciting, because it is one of the tougher districts in Class D. Let's talk now running events. Both the boys 4x400 meter relay with Dundee County Stratton Arapahoe, and then the 4x8. So 4x8 Cambridge and Wallace. Let's start 4x4 first. That's going to be a battle once again, I think, between Dundee County Stratton and Arapahoe.
For sure. They are going to put together really smart races. It'll be interesting to see kind of how they strategize to build their relays, switching some legs around to maybe capitalize on where they see that they could have an advantage with this person running against what they think maybe this person's going to run here. And so just seeing how they maybe rework their relays is going to be fun, but they're going to be fast. And then Bertrand's put together a really good relay too, in the 4x4. And so it'll be interesting to see if they make maybe a couple of tweaks to try to maybe be able to sneak in on an automatic spot or be right there toe to toe with,
by automatic, you mean a fast time.
Yes.
Fast time.
Yeah.
So then 4x8, we've got Cambridge and Wallace. Both teams ran well at conference. So those two teams look to be kind of the ones to watch in that relay. But like you said, looking at some of the times, some of those that are down a little bit, they would have to make some crazy adjustments to be within that time of Cambridge and Wallace. But those two will battle, I think, once again.
Yes, they will. But I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities for Hitchcock County to maybe sneak in on an additional qualifier. Their time is pretty good. Things. Yep. And so it's all about strategy and doing what you think is going to be best to get you the fastest kid, getting the kids to run as fast as they can, because you may not be winning the meet to qualify automatically, but you may just sneak in an additional qualifier.
Yeah, absolutely. Now let's talk the mile. I missed something on the field events. Pole vault, Isaac Hernandez from Bertrand. Yeah. He appears to be the favorite in that. But there's a handful of others that could do well, like Gage Hammond from Southwest and Aiden Jones from Medicine Valley.
Yeah, Gage Hammond of Southwest cleared 13, which is a new PR for him at Best of the Midwest. And Aiden Jones has looked really good as of late. I think he's cleared 12:10 recently. And so it'll be fun to watch all of those guys. 12-4 is automatic. So I would like to think that we'd be able to see all four of those guys get down there, but it'll be fun to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Now back to those running events. Let's talk the mile. Cale Garrett of Medicine Valley, Max Hansen of Wallace. Anticipate to see a really good race from those two.
Yes, I do. They're going to be fast. Cale, gosh, what did he do? He broke the school record at Best of the Midwest on Tuesday. I think he ran a 4:32, something like that. So he shaved a lot of time down off of that. So if he puts together another one of those, he'll kind of run away with that. But Max has run really well. But Gavin Gunderson ran super well yesterday.
From Cambridge.
Yep. Ran really well at Dale Harson and almost broke that 5-minute mark. And so he can go toe to toe with them too.
Yeah. Now 800, Cale Garrett again from Medicine Valley, and then Jace Hawkswell of Hitchcock County. Jace has put together another nice track season. If I remember correctly, he qualified in the 800 last year for state also. So he's one of those that wants to get back down there. Obviously.
I can't remember if he clinched it at districts or if he was an additional qualifier, but he ran at state and he ran a really good race down there. So hopefully he's probably hoping to get down there and be able to improve off of what he did last year.
Yeah. And then, we've got to mention Will Casey in the 400. He appears to be the favorite, obviously. Should be a lot of fun to watch him race. Sprints should be a lot of fun too. There's a lot of variables with the sprints this year. It looks like, Will Casey has been thrown in some of those sprints, and Lakin Wissink of Dundee County Stratton has been awesome. And I know we didn't talk hurdles, but Kevin Garcia has been awesome for Dundee County Stratton, but there's a lot of things that could go on with those sprints where we get some qualifiers and could be a lot of fun. So any other things to add with that, Kins, or?
I don't think so. It'll be fun. It'll be good. And it's all just going to be fun to see what actually the kids are entered in and stuff, and how the coaches tinker, and because we can say they're going to do one thing and then they'll change it on us
totally different
something. But it's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be a great day. So if you don't have anything going on Wednesday, a trip to Bertrand will be worth it. We promise you it will not disappoint.
It'll be a lot of fun. Like we said, we'll have a recap blog after that. That'll be the only district track invite that we are covering. But like we said, covering in person, we should say, but be looking for other qualifiers and stuff like that from the other 6 schools within the conference. We're going to update that, whether that's in our recap blog with a link so you can see, or just the weekly blog at the end of the week. We'll have all that information. Crazy to think, 2 weeks from today we'll be, in Omaha covering state track. It's going to be really fun. Really looking forward to it.
It is. We get to see the new Brick Stadium and all the changes that they made to that. So that'll be fun too. And but it'll be the same great atmosphere that they always provide. So
we're not even going to try to speculate on weather, because we did it for the RPAC. We ended up taking that out because it changed within 12 hours of recording the podcast. So we're not going to speculate on what the weather's going to be like for Wednesday. It's too far away.
It is.
But
we live in Nebraska.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. So thanks for joining us, Kins.
Yep, no problem.
Welcome back. It's time to announce the RPAC Rundown Athletes of the Week, brought to you by First Central Bank. Let's plan for tomorrow together. First Central Bank, member FDIC. Our female athlete of the week goes to Tierston Moore of Alma. At the Best of the Midwest last Tuesday, Moore placed first in the 100-meter hurdles with a time of 15.27 seconds and placed first in the 300-meter hurdles with a new school record time of 46.40 seconds. At the Dale Harson Invite last Thursday, Moore placed first in the 100-meter hurdles with a time of 15.24 seconds, placed first in the 300-meter hurdles, breaking her own school record with a time of 46.19 seconds, and was a member of the second-place 4x400-meter relay team with a time of 4 minutes, 24.77 seconds. For our male athlete of the week, we have 2. Dundee County Stratton Boys 4x100-meter relay team. At the DCS Twilight Meet on Friday, the 4x100-meter relay team of Kevin Garcia, Blaine Aldridge, Ethan Latta, and Lakin Wissink broke their own Class D state record, which of course is pending approval from our understanding, with a new time of 42.57 seconds. Our other male athlete of the week goes to Micah Gerlach of Cambridge. He had an excellent day at North Platte St. Pat's, as they had an invite at River's Edge last Thursday. He won the invite and shot a 74. Once again, our athletes of the week are brought to you by First Central Bank, member FDIC. That will do it for this week's episode of the podcast. Of course, we have great sponsors of the pod like JBK Operating LLC, Scouts Recreation, First Central Bank, Cross Diamond Cattle Company, Tri-Valley Medical Foundation, and Prairie Girl Candle Company. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you later.